In this video, I'm gonna explain the 3 reasons why the golden days of dropshipping are behind us and why the success rate is now so low, especially for beginners. It was the original business model that made a ton of people a lot of money. It blew up from around 2012 to 2016. A lot of the content back then was selling people this laptop lifestyle, cars, watches, girls, traveling around the world. It was actually one of the first business models I tried. It just didn't really work out for me. Maybe you've tried dropshipping in the past and it didn't work out for you either, and if so, it's not your fault. Dropshipping has been made out to be way easier than it actually is. And the reason why it's blown up so much is because the model makes a lot of sense on paper. You source a product from overseas for super cheap, you set up an online store for it, and then you run some ads or post some TikToks and hopefully people will buy it. Except that's not how it works, at least not anymore. And now the competition for dropshipping is so much higher than it has ever been. As of recording this video, there's something like 6.3 million Shopify stores, and that doesn't even include any of the other platforms that you can use to do dropshipping. And on top of that, the cost of running ads is getting higher and higher because everybody is trying to run ads. When you actually take some time to look at what goes into the dropshipping business model, you'll start to realize it's really not that great of a business model. Reason number 1 is low profit margins. When you see people posting their screenshots on social media of $100,000 in revenue in a single month, that is just revenue, that is not profit. In e-commerce and dropshipping, the profit margins are super low. It's pretty common for dropshipping stores to be doing millions of dollars in revenue, but only 5 to 10% of that is profit. Even like 20% profit margins is considered really good for dropshipping. The reason for this is simply because you have so many expenses. If you wanted to take home like 10K a month in profit for yourself, your store realistically would probably need to be doing anywhere from 100 to 200,000 in revenue. Everyone always says you don't need that much money to start dropshipping, but they're either lying to you or they really don't know what they're talking about. If you want to start a successful dropshipping store in 2024, you need to have at least a couple $1,000s if you want to give it a fair shot. Most people burn through product after product after product, testing all these different things, spending a ton of money on Facebook and TikTok ads. They're just hoping to hit that one lucky winner product that should in theory pay off for all the failed products, but it's not guaranteed at all. They usually run out of money before they actually find it. And this is especially true for the complete beginners that choose dropshipping as their first business. Because if you don't have any prior experience in business, you don't really have a feel for which products are gonna be the winners or how to even market them. Now let's say you get lucky and you find that winning product. Now you need to create ads that get people to actually want to buy that product. Because for those of you that don't know how ads work, you only pay when someone clicks on your ad. So when you pay for ads on Google, Facebook, TikTok, you're bidding against other dropshippers that are competing for the same clicks from the same people, which means you're probably gonna lose to people who have spent way more money on ads than you and have way more experience than you. If you're a beginner, it's just really hard to get into paid advertising, especially if you don't have a massive stockpile of money ready to go. Now on top of that, you also need to know how to source products from the right supplier. You need to know how to vet them and communicate with them so you don't get screwed over. You need to know how to deal with customer service, returns, refunds, and bad reviews, because sometimes when you're shipping from China, it can take 4 to 8 weeks for the product to actually get here. And that brings me to reason number 3. You need a ton of skills. You have to be a skilled marketer, operator, designer, communicator, and so on. These are skills which as a beginner, you just simply don't have. The reason I know this is because I have friends who've been in e-com for about half a decade now. The reason they're even able to make money with it is because they've built up their skills over years and years of being in the trenches. But notice how I didn't call it dropshipping just now. I called it e-com. That's because in order to actually succeed with dropshipping in 2024, you need to have your own personal brand. You need to create a brand around these products. To even compete with anyone in the space, you can't just have a half-ass shitty store with a bunch of shitty products and shitty marketing. You need to have an entirely legitimate operation if you want to make it work. You need to have your branding on point. You need to look like a legitimate brand that you'd find in the store at like Target or Walmart. You also need to have your email marketing dialed in, which by the way is a whole nother skill in and of itself. And these are just some of the things I thought of off the top of my head. I'm sure there's way more. I know that was a lot, but I really want to drive the point home. If you don't know how to do all of these things, you won't be able to compete with the other people that do. And I just want you to be aware of it before you get into dropshipping and potentially waste a lot of time and money. And it's a shame because back in 2015, 2016, you could still make dropshipping dropshipping work without having a lot of this knowledge. But with how competitive it is in 2024, you just have way too much catching up to do as a beginner, and it's just not worth it. And that's why I do not recommend it. But when some doors close, other doors open. All the gurus you probably know and watch on social media, Iman Gadzhi, Alex Hormozi, Jordan Welsh, they're all telling you to do one thing, but they're actually getting into SaaS. If you haven't noticed, SaaS, or software as a service, is blowing up right now. When you sell software, you're just selling access to a software that's already been built. You don't have to worry about shipping times, sourcing products, finding vendors, or burning money testing a bunch of products. This is why the profit margins are like 95%, unlike the 10 to 20% with dropshipping. But why is SaaS only blowing up now? Well, that's because in the past, you used to need tens of thousands of dollars to build your own software product. So for the longest time, it was impossible for the average person to get their piece of this software market. But that has completely changed. Technology is now advancing at such a rapid rate that there are companies that will let you take their software, put your own logo and business name on it, and then resell it as many times as you want. The biggest one right now is called GoHighlevel. It's what I use to run my entire business. I took my own business name and my own logo, slapped it on the GoHighlevel software, and I can resell it for whatever price that I want. And they let you keep 100% of the profit. All you have to do is pay one monthly fee for the software and you're good to go. This allows anyone to get into the software industry without having hundreds of thousands of dollars to hire a developer and create your own software. And remember how I said there was over 6 million Shopify stores? Well, as of right now, there's only 60,000 total people doing this in the entire world. So getting in SaaS now would be like getting in dropshipping back in 2012. Think about it. Everything that we just talked about that makes dropshipping a really hard business model, the high startup costs, the slow shipping times, the product research, all of these things are only problems because you're dropshipping a physical product. When you're selling a software product, it's already created and coded for you. It's kind of like dropshipping a digital product. So you get to have all the benefits of not having to create the product yourself, but you don't have to deal with all the headaches of actually dropshipping. Instead of needing a few $1,000s to start dropshipping, you only need a couple $100s to start SaaS. And they actually give you a free 30-day trial so you can get started and learn how to use it. Instead of having super low profit margins like with dropshipping, with SaaS, your profit margins are almost always above 90%. The only expense of your business is the actual software subscription itself. So once you get one client, that covers your software subscription, and everything else after that is all profit. Your only job is literally doing outreach and getting clients. And instead of selling some super cheap, shitty product from China that people are gonna buy once and never buy again, with software, you're selling something extremely valuable to a business. Most businesses are terrible at marketing and have no online presence, which is exactly what GoHighlevel helps with. And when businesses see the value that it's providing to them, they are more than happy to pay you every single month to keep using the software. So once you make a sale, you're gonna have these clients paying you every single month. That is by far my favorite part. The only skills you really need are to learn the GoHighlevel software and then sell it. And it's a lot easier than you think because the software basically sells itself. So now you're probably wondering, who exactly am I selling this software to? Technically, every single business in the world could benefit from using the software, but the businesses that get the most value out of it are local businesses, and that's exactly who I tell you to reach out to. If you want to know where to find those clients, what industries they're in, how to reach out to them, what to say to them to get them interested in your software, I just posted a video on how to actually get GoHighlevel clients, and it covers everything you need to know. It's a topic that deserves its own video, and I already made it on my channel, so definitely go check that out. And for those of you that are actually serious about making a full-time income online, I created an entirely free course that goes over A to Z everything you need to know about GoHighlevel. How to set up the software, how to learn the software, and how to sell it to clients so that they keep paying you every single month. I'm gonna leave that link down below. If you missed out on dropshipping in 2012 or SMMA in 2021, don't worry, because this is the next big opportunity. When you see gurus teaching all these different business models every single year, dropshipping, SMMA, Amazon FBA, wholesaling real estate, Airbnb, there are so many new models out there now. You shouldn't listen to what they're telling you to do. You should look at what they're actually doing themselves. All of the big players are getting into software, which is why it is one of the fastest growing industries. Just think about how many subscriptions you probably have to a bunch of different things. Software is the same way. And it's the same way for business owners. They're spending way more on software every year because it's the way things are trending. Again, there are only 60,000 people doing this in the entire world. And when you realize there are 300 million small business owners out there that are not using software right now, you can see how massive this opportunity is. If you want the absolute best information out there on how to start your own SaaS business in 2024, grab the free course that's linked down below and get started All you need to do is just follow the blueprint I lay out for you and execute. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a great rest of your day.